So far, that amount of wood has taken me about an hour. With that, coupled with these logs, it's right around half a cord.
The two hardest logs that I've come across on this load. This one's kind of knotted up, and then this is the bud of the tree that I cut down. This is white oak. I'll do these in real time, and then the rest of these logs I'll fast forward through so you can see how it goes. This one is 8 inches on the small end. It's got this big old knot and this one. I usually put the knots wedged first. That way if they don't go, I can take them off. And if they do, the knot's already splitted through. You're supposed to be on this side, but for filming, you're supposed to be on the other side. For filming purposes, I'm going to be on this side and operate it backwards and awkwardly. Normally, left hand, right hand. Yeah, you'll see. 12 inches. 10 inches. Alright, DR Power, here's an opportunity for improvement. Use some lock nuts on everything, my goodness. I mean, this lock washer hadn't done much. I'd suggest a nylock nut in addition. To be fair, I did have some issues out of the box with this one. At the factory, they forgot to tighten down a couple of the nuts on the wheels, and it ended up scraping the studs that they thread onto. And DR has great customer service, so I will say that for them. Maybe they just had some issues on this particular one. We'll see. But I'm just going to do it finger tight for now, and then tighten it up the rest of the way when I get done with this. So there it is. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. To this point, I've mostly used it for splitting kindling. This is really the first wood I've split. This oak is about a week old, maybe 2 weeks at the most, so it's really green. And it cut every piece of it. This tree was about 10 or 12 inches at the largest diameter. Alright, so there you have it. This half cord of white oak that's about a week old took me about an hour, hour and a half to do. Probably not hugely efficient or quick compared to a gas log splitter, but that's not what I was looking for. I wanted something that was quiet, cheap. What sold me on this is the fact that I can keep it in my basement and split stuff down, make kindling real quick. To this point, that's mostly what I've used it for. Makes kindling in a hurry, and I can use it in the basement. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. I did mention partway through the video, unless I fast forwarded through it, The bolts that hold the wheels on for this unit from the factory, those bolts were only finger tight. So when I took it out of the box, only one was present. I didn't know that at the time, so when I wheeled it around, it actually made the whole plate grind on the studs that hold it in place. To be fair, DR Power was great with customer service. They were about to ship me a new unit and then have me box this one up and return it just with a quick contact. I offered up an alternative solution that we were both happy with, so they resolved it to my satisfaction. So this bolt coming free, there is a lock washer on that side. I don't know if this was just finger tight also or what. Maybe this particular unit had issues from the factory. Maybe it's par for the course, I don't know. I paid about $500 for this. Shouldn't have to deal with loose washers and loose nuts. They should use some Loctite on all the ones that aren't meant to come apart. They should probably use nylock nuts as well instead of lock washers or in addition to lock washers, but regardless, pretty happy with it. I wasn't looking for another gas engine to maintain. Same reason I had the electric snowblower. I wasn't wanting the noise. I wanted something that was pretty light and portable. The wheels on this thing are only 6 inches diameter. They're pretty useless on anything but pavement, but even so, you can move this if you need to. I got a tractor, as you saw. This trailer is hooked up to it right now. I can easily throw a strap around this, but bigger than that, I can move it down to the basement and then wheel it around the basement and use it where I want it, when I want it. I've got extension cords so I can move it out to my log pile if need be, or as I cut the trees down, bring them up to the driveway and split them and then move them on their merry way. So overall, pretty happy with it, happy with the customer service. I'd love a bigger unit. You saw me operating on that side. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to use left hand, right hand. If you do it the other way, these things into your palm, they kind of hurt if you don't operate quickly. You're supposed to operate it with force, quickly. Otherwise, it doesn't activate quite right. If you don't do it quickly, it kind of hits your hand with a force. It doesn't feel great. Same thing if you put a log in here that's too long. I cut these all to like 15.5 inches. You can fit maybe a 16, 17 incher in here, but if you don't leave enough room between the log and this ram, it can't engage the rack and pinion properly, and it hits your hand real hard. So don't try to force anything too long. Leave at least about an inch or so. But like I said, it's great for splitting kindling. It won't handle the full length of my wood furnace that it can handle, 22 inches, but this will handle everything that fits in crossways. So the longer stuff I can split by hand. The giant stuff I can either split by hand or borrow my neighbor's log splitter, but for probably 80–90% of what I do, this is going to be perfect. I wanted something that would cover at least that. I don't need a 22-ton log splitter and a giant gas engine and maintaining it all and blah, blah, blah. I can put this in the garage, I can put it in the basement, it doesn't really matter. So, pretty happy with it. Wouldn't mind their larger electric version. Wouldn't mind the electric version of the Super Split, but $500 was in my price range, $1,500 wasn't. Hope you enjoyed.